Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And today we are on episode 45. Yes. And our topic for today is from healthcare to home based hustle. So, Sharon's journey to freedom, and our guest is Sharon Mudimu. So, she will be with us in a few minutes. But before we dive into our topic, let me introduce myself. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but according to reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor. I also want to remind everyone that we have our live webinars every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. So if you want to learn how to start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is just register in my website that appears on the screen with your name and email address, and I'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. In addition to that, I also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you probably wonder, okay, so what am I going to find out on the webinar? So on the webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works. And also you get the opportunity to listen from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. Okay, so let's find out who were the hosts and panelists from this past Thursday's live webinar. So if you want to catch this replay before next Tuesday's live webinar, you can watch it and hear their stories and then watch the live webinar on Tuesday. So let's find out who were the hosts and panelists. Okay, so our hosts were Chris and Karen. So Chris is a former firefighter and Karen is a former elementary vice principal. Our first panelist is Anne. She's a sales and marketing executive. We have Rika, a registered nurse. We have Tony and Rita, so IT and recruitment. Annabelle, retired nurse. We have Rada, a former corporate employee. We have Manisha Bahen, former brick and mortar business owner, and Sangeeta, a software engineer. So as you see, we have all different walks of life and different ages and different countries represented here. So, but they all have something in common, and that is, they decided to take that leap of faith to change their life and their family's life. So, if you want to catch the replay before Tuesday's live webinar, our replays has subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So there you go. So now you know what to do. So if you want to learn how to start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is just register into that website and you catch the replay from this Thursdays and watch it before next Tuesday's live webinar. All right, so let's dive into our topic that we mentioned. So, like we mentioned, we are on episode 45. So, from healthcare to home based hustle. So, today we're going to be listening to Sharon's journey to freedom. And our guest is Sharon Mudimu. So, but before I bring her here to the studio, let me introduce her to you guys. So I'm excited to introduce today's guest, Sharon. She's originally from Zimbabwe and now living in the UK. So Sharon is a proud mother of 4 and a dedicated health support worker. Alongside her role in healthcare, she's also a passionate digital business owner and mentor, helping others create more freedom and possibility in their lives. Her story is a powerful example of balance, resilience, and purpose. So get ready to be inspired by her journey. So let's bring Sharon to the studio. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Sunday. Thank you for
So,
having me.
yes, thank you for accepting my invitation. Um, so, I know I did a little bit of introduction. Is there something else you want to add to what I just say so people get to know you a little bit more?
So I am a mother, like what you said. I'm a mother of 4. I've been in the UK for quite some years now, and yes, I'm married, and I'm also a student. And yes, I am a digital business owner living here in the UK, helping these ordinary people just like you and me here change lives, just like how I'm doing it now. So, yes, that is it. You said most of it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so let's dive into the questions. All right, so Sharon, as a healthcare worker and mom of four, what made you finally say, I need something more flexible and minimum for my life and my family? And I have a second question, follow-up question after that.
No problem, Sandy. So, now as a healthcare worker here in the UK, we work really long hours. We work like 12 hours 12 hours a shift, and you have a few hours off, that kind of thing. But for me, because I've got family here in the UK and I'm the only breadwinner in my house back home, where, with my mum and my sisters, I still have to support them as well. So for me, I was really living on uh, working, working, working. That was my life. Me and my husband would just exchange, to look after the kids. If I'm in, he's out. Then we'll have just one day off for Sunday church. So just one day, I was literally feeling fine. I felt nothing was wrong with me. So I was on my way to pick my little girl up from school.
Mhm.
And believe it or not, I walked that hill literally every day, Monday to Friday, picking my little girl from school. So I just walked that day and I felt, oh, I'm really tired. So I just stood by the side of the road and I closed my eyes. Just then, just as I closed my eyes, the next thing I realized, I was on the road on the floor.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know why. So that was literally like a blackout and hit the ground. But there was literally nothing wrong with me. And after that, I went to the doctors to find out what was wrong with me. You know, the doctor was like, there's nothing wrong. All tests done, there was nothing wrong. His question was, what kind of job do you do?
Mhm.
How many hours do you work? I was ashamed to say how many hours I worked because I had a permanent job. And here I worked for bank, what we call agency. And I worked sometimes 7 days, sometimes 6 days.
Mhm.
So times that by 12, let's say, because we have an hour break. So that's 11.5 every day. And then you could do that for 6 days or seven, even more. You know, it depends what I needed the money for or what is needed back home and what I need was at the end of the month where all rents are needed. But for me, that was a turning point because after he asked me that question, I thought, I have my son that's got special needs that needs me more than anything. But that, yes, is my priority. But I was thinking of what should I bring on the table every time. But at that point, it made me think, what if that was it? That was the end of me. That was my worst fear. That for me was my turning point.
Mhm. Yeah, I know someone in our community who kind of have like similar story to you when it comes to, like overwork and
Mm,
pushing your body to the extreme. And then like like she ended up in the hospital too, and she thought that, it was like a stroke, and the doctor said, no, there's no stroke, nothing,
yeah,
everything was good. But it was the same thing, like it's pushing the body to the extreme.
that's right.
And I do understand what you're saying about the hours, because I work in the movie industry, and we work 12 hours 5 days a week. And you are saying that you are working, 6 7 sometimes more, and And I
Mm.
can, like, at the beginning, because we work from production to production, so that's why I don't like to work TV series, because when I was young, I was okay. When I was getting older, my energy is not the same. And at the beginning, it's fine. But after a while, I'm starting getting burnout. And it's like like you passed out. So I can imagine, you doing it for a long period of time. The same, your body finally say, enough is enough. And then that's why you had that reaction. So I totally understand. And the other thing that you mentioned, what is also, I'm pretty sure a lot of parents are in the same situation as you, that you were saying that you guys were alternating to taking care of the
Yeah.
kids.
Mm.
I had a friend also, who in the community, who I met her when I first started, and she was in the same situation as you too. um, to the point that it made her reflect, because every time that her daughter was asking her, "Mom, why is it that when you're leaving, um,
I'm
no, when
coming.
my dad is coming, you're leaving, and vice versa?" And she keeps asking her that question until she decided, like, I gotta do something, because there wasn't any time where both of them were together with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that is important, because it's only one parent. um,
Mm.
so so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of parents out there that are in the same situation and will relate to your story about that.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. And like you say, your priority is your son, taking care of your son.
Mm.
So yeah, sometimes, like, we don't realize that until we have that aha moment. So that was your aha
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
It's very
Um,
true.
yeah.
Because I think sometimes we focus so much on what's needed. Like
Hmm.
we'll say, oh, we need to pay this. This needs to be done. Or I've got this certain project. Or I need to do this. But when you really sit down and then think, when you have that moment and then think, is this really important?
Hmm.
Can I not do without so many projects? Can I not limit some things? But at the same time, kids are used to a certain lifestyle, and you have set yourself on a certain lifestyle. Now you can go back.
Hmm.
So this is where, I found this business to be here because I wanted more. I wanted my lifestyle to be at that same level,
Hmm.
not to go backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yes. And this is what this business will allow, to you, and to many parents out there, be fully present for your kids, not missing any milestone, which that's one of the things, because, we think, that, but they grow so fast. And when you look back, the time has passed. So you really have to treasure those moments, those milestones of your kid. And like you mentioned, this business, will allow you to be fully present, be allowed to be able to build that financial stability. So that's why, it will allow to be more present for your kid and for your family. And create that balance, work life balance, and for you, taking care of you, because you also need to take care of yourself. That's something that we also neglect, taking care of ourselves. We tend to give to others, but we forget about ourselves, and we also need to have that me time, to be able to recharge, to be able to continue to give to others. So thank you for sharing your stories. It's very inspiring and powerful.